Hello and welcome to the Swim Run Show. We've got a great British athlete today. It's Tamsyn Clark. How are you, Tamsyn?
Good, thanks, Mike.
Good. How's the weather down where you are?
Today we have blue skies and glorious sunshine, but it's about -3 outside. But that beats yesterday where it was -3 with rain when I did my run at
Oh,
5:45 in the morning.
oh,
So
that is.
yeah, but we've gone in St Albans, so near London, from running in shorts to all the layers in about 4 days.
Yeah, it's come quick, this winter
Yeah,
spell. Yeah, it's
up to
gone
now
really
it's
cold.
been mild, very mild. So now just as proper winter training starts, I've got to man up
Yeah,
and get out in the cold.
well done. That's good commitment because it was very cold yesterday. So yeah, cool. So yeah, we're
Did,
going to
did you
talk.
get snow? We got
Ooh,
snow yesterday.
no, there's snow on the mountains in Wales. I was in
Yeah.
Liverpool at the moment. No, it's just really cold. It's clear skies, but very cold wind. But yeah, I heard there was snow down
Yeah.
in London. Yeah,
There was snow, biting wind, but this I don't think I'll get a chance today, but this is perfect cold water dipping weather. Blue skies, cold and sunshine. It's what motivates you to do it.
yeah, yeah. I'm just thinking. You can tell you've got two British people. We're talking about the weather. So,
Yeah.
so, Tamsin, well done on a great season. And I just realised, I think I'm correct in saying you're the only British person to be on a OtillO swim run podium in 2025 of the World Series event. Is that right?
But possibly, I don't know. I know I was on the podium. I don't
Yes.
I don't know about anyone else, although I think it was a bit easier because I was in the solo category, but it was a silver lining to my rash decision to go out to Uto.
No, it's brilliant. Second place in the World Series solo women, and good.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good performance. And yeah, I'm pretty sure you can claim that title. So only British podium of the World Series.
Yeah.
So on that note, we'll say now, actually, Tamsin, you're looking for a world champs partner to race in
I
September.
am. I want to challenge myself to be on the start line in September, but as we'll probably go on to say, most of my racing so far has been solo because I can't convince any of my long distance runners to swim, any of my long distance swimmers to run, or any of my triathletes to ditch their bikes.
Yeah, it's surprising. They'll
I'm
see the
still
light.
working on it.
Yeah, good. Long term
But yes,
project.
if anyone's interested, get in touch via my.
Okay, yeah, cool. And just in terms of, are you male or female? Not bothered about the category.
I am not bothered. In a way, I'd love to do it as a female team. I listen to Sabina's podcast and also just through Envol, and she's really keen on getting more sort of competitive women's teams out there. And I kind of agree with her that it would be nice to see that. Not that I'm on her level, but I'm not fussy. I'd like to be there. So mixed team is perfectly fine.
Cool, cool. No, it would be nice to have all female British. Well, is there a requirement for the nation to? No, okay, okay.
There's no, this is my swim run dating. No nationality requirement, no gender requirement.
Okay.
Just someone hopefully who's similar-ish, and I'll put that ish.
Yeah.
And I know that comes up quite a lot on your podcasts, whether you need to be equally matched. And I agree that you don't have to be completely equally matched. But what I find with my friends is I'm a lot quicker at the swim.
Mm.
And certainly if I had a big male behind me, I've done it before, towing a large male, and that does actually put a lot of effort on
Yeah.
the swim, when the swim is supposed to be a rest for me.
Yeah. 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 No, you're a strong swimmer. So yeah, an ish, but not crazy like difference in speed on the swim.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Um, cool.
Happy to
And
have a mountain goat runner to pull me along. That'd be
yeah.
great.
Yeah. Good stuff. Uh, so well, we should really say time. What's your kind of 100? Because otherwise, people are lost in the dark. What's your kind of 100
Yeah, I
meter
suppose
pace?
so. So I work off a CSS pace of 128. So that's without paddles.
Hmm.
So I'm sort of with paddles, I'm probably averaging between 125 and 130 throughout most of the race, obviously conditions allowing. I mean,
Hmm.
I don't time any of the swims in a race, but that's sort of pool
Yeah.
based
Yeah.
swimming.
Cool.
And so what I find with quite a few people who are stronger runners is that they might be nearer the sort of 1:52 minutes. So that's
Yeah.
quite a big gap. I have done it. The very first swim run I did with a friend, and we had quite a big gap, but she, she's female rather than male, and I towed her through the whole 3.5K. So
Yeah. I
you can
think
do it.
you can. Yeah. I think if there's more than a 15 to 20%
Yeah,
difference, then it's getting
you
negative.
feel it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've never led someone who's more similar to me. So when I think of having someone slower, I definitely notice it. But that's
Mm.
because you've got a 30-second per 100 difference, which is
Yeah. Yeah.
significant.
So I think the slowest person for you would be a 140 per 100. I
Yeah.
know this is all very
Yeah,
technical,
technical,
but
but you can
you've got to have
grasp
a
them
you've got to have a
probably.
ballpark, haven't you? Yeah, yeah. And that
Just like I'm quite happy to do this one. You can do a 1:15. I'll try. I'll
yeah,
draft you.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah.
And the pull boy, there's a lot
Yeah.
of the thing that some triathletes, maybe some trail runners don't get as well, who aren't great swimmers. The pull buoy and paddles can really
Mm.
help with the lesser swimmers, if you like.
Yeah.
With practice, for sure, definitely on the paddles. So yeah, that's cool. And running wise, where you at with your kind of, I don't know, 10K pace, or I don't know.
So 10K, I'm about 40 to 41 minutes. So
Oh,
that's
nice.
I don't know, 4:10. But obviously, I'm not going to run that fast in
Yeah, no,
Uto. Actually,
that
on Uto, the girl who won, she did set off pretty much at my 5K pace, and I said, "Right then, you can have this one,"
right.
because I can't keep that up for 30K. But yeah, so that's my sort of ballpark road running
Yeah,
speed.
that's a good lick. So yeah, Uto uphill, isn't it, to start?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she started very fast. She's young, um,
Hmm.
and yeah, I said, "Be sensible. You've got 4 odd hours to go." So I let her go,
Yeah,
and that's
good.
how I stayed first or
Brilliant.
second.
Yeah, second player. Yeah,
Yeah.
brilliant. Okay, so that's good. That's the your dating credentials for for the world
Quite.
champs. Cool. So I think Did I first meet you at Tallyclen swim run a couple of years ago? So,
Yeah. So two years ago I did that. So that was 2020. No, 2024. Yeah,
yeah,
did that
and
in
you
the
was
May half term.
yeah,
Uh, came third.
yeah. I think you were second lady,
Yeah, our second lady.
third
So it's
overall. Yeah,
Rianne,
yeah.
and
Rianne,
I don't know if it was Andrew.
um,
It was a
Andrew,
runner chat.
Andrew, Andrew Barber, very good
Yeah,
runner, and it
and I
turns
was
out
with
quite a
him
good swimmer.
at the bottom of the hill. I was with him. I wasn't with him by the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had a little battle till we got to the hill. Then he just took off, and that was the last I saw of him. So
Yeah. Well, he was nearly went kind of pro back in the day, pro 10K runner, I believe. But yeah, I don't
yeah,
know how that works with being a pro 10K. But he was that level. He was a very high level runner. He's quite older now, but he's still got the running. And his
yeah.
swimming was up to scratch.
His
Then
swimming wasn't bad.
yeah,
Because for the first few swims and runs, he'd get ahead, then I'd catch him in the swim, but I wasn't catching so much that, you could stay ahead for the rest of the run. So he
mm,
probably would have been someone who could draft me.
yeah, yeah. I'll
Uh,
mention it to her. Actually, I'm in touch. Right? Yeah, good shout.
yeah, he'd like to
Yeah,
do it. he,
yeah.
he could drag me around those runs.
Yeah, yeah, cool. Okay, so we want to look at the races you've done this year, 2025, and I looked
Yeah,
ahead to 2026. So, and there's a lot to mention with you, Tamsyn, actually, because you're in the British ranking. You're let's have a look now, third female. But if you look at the average points per race, you're the first female, and that's an indicator of athletic performance, I would say. So well done on
yeah,
that. That's all the numbers out of
yeah.
the way.
I think I was the only one, wasn't I, that did a long one? But yeah, Coniston.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, I with the British swim run, it's difficult to get to the top when you're limited on the number of races you can do. Um, and I think I'll find that next year as well because I was meant to do Roseland but did Uto, so that ended up being a non-UK race.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm always a bit limited because of family and job and stuff.
Yeah,
I have
absolutely.
to choose my races.
Yeah, it's very difficult. I think there's possibly work for to do on that because I feel like you get 30 points on the British Swim Run ranking, whether you're last or first, and then you get additional points
Yeah.
based on your place. I think 30 points seems possibly a little bit too much. Anyway, I'll talk to the guys. I've got
Yeah,
that's on.
it's the age old. You have it in all the tri clubs and the running clubs. How do you do a fair race series? And I think the issue Swim Run has is you want to sort of encourage participation, and it's still so small that if you said it's only your top three, or you're trying to direct people to particular races, it might have the opposite effect when you're still a small sort of sport. So at the moment, it's if you can race a lot, then you'll go up the rankings.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Which is fine.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not a biggie, but
No, it's not a
cool.
biggie. Do I win anything?
No, exactly. No, you have your name in black and
Yeah.
white on a website, so that's good. So, what have you done? What was your first race of the year, Tamsyn?
I did the Mad Hatter Hokey Cokey at Charlestown, which kind of replaced Tally Lynn this year because it was at the summer half term, and luckily my boys had a day off on the Friday, so we all went down in the camper van, and
Cool.
I raced the Saturday, and then did a lovely sea swim with John and the gang on the Sunday. So I highly recommend that race. It's a lot of fun. It was shortened a bit this year, so a bit like Helen, I came third, so third overall, first lady. But I had a great battle with sort of second and first, and the first guy, Lawrence, he was really the runner. Me and John were the swimmers, and the mile swim at the end was cancelled. So we think it
Oh,
might have been a little bit closer because it was about 2 minutes between us in the
oh,
end.
right.
But we think it would have been a bit closer if we'd had the final swim.
So you were 2 minutes off the front,
Yeah.
and there was a
Um,
mile. Did you say how far was the final swim meant to be?
the final swim, so they had to change the course a little bit because of winds. I mean, I think that he's had a really rough
Yeah,
year
tough. Yeah,
with races. But it was supposed to have a final swim that sort of came back to Charlestown, which was a mile long. That's how it sort of ends, and then you get out
yeah,
and do a little run up the harbour.
yeah.
But that direction was considered to be too difficult for sort of the slower people, and so we sort of did one side of Charlestown several times with a slightly different run, but in essence, it was shortened by a mile swim at the end.
That's a
So
significant.
it might
Yeah,
have been it might have
yeah,
been a bit closer.
yeah.
I'm not saying we'd have won, and I still didn't manage to outsprint John, who is a local now but used to be a member of my tri club. So it was quite nice bumping
Yeah.
into him and staying with him because he's a very good swimmer.
Cool, cool. That's good. That is one of the things in swim run, isn't it? Those changes to the course sometimes happen to make it
Yeah.
work on the day. So a shout out to your tri club. Who are your tri club? At St Albans, is
Uh,
it?
Triforce Hearts in St Albans,
Okay.
who are a lovely bunch, and they're very supportive of my swim run antics. They love reading my race reports, but so far I haven't got many people to actually commit to doing one. I should shout out to Rachel, who went up to Coniston. She came second, so she was the only other lady who finished Coniston, and that was her first ever swim run out on the course for 8 hours. So
Wow.
kudos to her.
Good effort. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good effort. So did you go on then to sorry, to Uto for the next race?
Yeah, that was 2 weeks later. And like I said, that was unplanned because I was supposed to be doing the Roseland, which would have been July, I think. And John cancelled that early. And that was, I think, because it had to change date. No, so what happened is
Yeah.
it had to change date because of council stuff, and I couldn't do the change date, and then it did get cancelled later. But when that happened, I was like, oh, I've done all this long distance training. I need a race. And I wanted something a bit inspirational because the Roseland would have been a massive challenge. And actually, it was Stuart because I'd ruled out going abroad because I thought it was too difficult to leave him with the boys for 4 days. My boys are very busy with stuff. And he was like, what about Uto? And I was like, I don't know, but a bit like when you said, should you do the podcast? I sort of originally sort of went no, and it was like 10 minutes later, okay, I'll do the podcast. And that was pretty similar to that. So I challenged myself to go out there on my own, which was, I think the travel was
Brilliant.
more stressful than the
Yeah.
race.
Yeah.
So yes, Uto
Yeah.
in June, where I didn't see you, but you were somewhere near me
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the race. Because you would have gone off as a team, because we had to start 5 minutes behind.
Yeah.
So I spent the first couple of hours overtaking people, and then quite a long time pretty much in the wilderness on my own. So that hard sort of 10k at the end, where I'd love to know the splits, because I think I lost so much time on that last 10k just because of inability to handle the rocks and stuff. I was largely on my own, not really catching anyone, not really being caught by anyone.
Yeah.
Hoping I was sort of on the right track. But I mean, it was very well marked.
Yeah, the in and out, and as it joins up with the World Champs course coming from the north east. I love that section. How was the swim? There was one of those swims. It was pretty windy on that part. How was
It was. I
one of
mean,
the
I'm quite confident in the swim, but I said, there was one swim. It was a very short one, but the waves were huge, and I was definitely being pushed towards rocks. And I was just there swimming, thinking it's going to take me about 4 minutes to do 100 meters in this. I don't seem to be going anywhere. And I was like, I can't see a safety boat. I wonder what weaker swimmers doing here. And I was just having this sort of like slightly existential conversation with myself until I got to the other side and dragged myself out of the rocks. But I mean, they were quite hairy in that sort of section where you're going in and out and in and out. A lot of swell, and I took a long time to do quite a lot of the swim, so I suspect some people took a lot longer. But I've done quite a lot of sea swimming, including with shot, even though I don't live anywhere near the sea. Because I've done a channel relay, and I did Montenegro Ultra Swim 33.3 last year, which was choppy. So it doesn't stress me out too much. But I have to say, at Uto, but the last swim, I was like, I'm done. I'm done on this swimming now.
It was wild at times, and some cool waters as well.
Yeah, chilly. And I mean, I'm sure I definitely for the Worlds need someone to teach me how you run in on the slippery rocks, because I mean, I looked much more pathetic than the pros in the video. And I also had some quite dubious ways of getting out of some, largely waiting for a wave to sort of smash me into them, getting up quickly and moving
works.
on.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
when
mean, it
the
worked.
waves.
I was
Yeah,
covered in cuts, but
doesn't matter.
that was how I decided to get out of some of them.
Yeah, that's how it was that day, and that's a good policy. You will have some cuts, but that's all good fun. You just keep going. Yeah, any way you can get out, get out. The getting in is when you're in a team with the bungee, the tether. It is hard to get in fast for sure.
Yeah.
You know, so definitely something to practice. Full commitment, basically.
Yeah, it feels like a confidence thing, a bit like, because I come from a triathlon background, when you're doing hairpins and descending, so much is like leaning and weight and confidence. And so I watch those videos of people just running in on the amazingly slippery rocks and think, yeah, need some practice doing that. So I think going out to the archipelago at some point over the summer is definitely on my agenda for some training practice.
Cool. Okay, and then what was the next one after that? After your second place there?
After Uto, so I did Grafham, so the Esquinas mustard, but I did it with my husband, because I promised him I would do a swim run with him. And although we met as runners a long time ago, he's had a lot of back issues and health issues, so he's not as fit as he wants to be at the moment. So we did a 10k as a sort of honorary team, because you didn't have to be in a team, but he wasn't able to do the 21k, so we did the 10k there together with me just shepherding him round, really. So I
Yeah.
think I
Cool.
came on the podium in the women's, but it was sort of, that was actually just to do a race with him.
Mhm.
So I did that. And then I don't think I raced before I went on holiday. And then I came back and raced Buell in September and then Coniston
Cool. Buell, of course, being taken over by Gritty
by
Rascals
Gritty
now.
Ross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did you do in Buell? Podium?
So I won Buell overall,
Wow.
which was nice. So that was a gun to tape win.
Lucy Charles.
Which sounds great, but you start with the first swim, realise that I was a stronger swimmer than anyone, but then I spent, the rest of it thinking at some point someone's going to catch me up. And so, there's it's a bit like Tailin, there's a 7K run sort of in the middle with quite a big hill considering where it is. And the whole of that 7K run, I was thinking one of them's going to catch me now, and then can I get it back? How long are the swims after this? But they didn't. I think I won by about 3 or 4 minutes. So
Brilliant.
yeah, that was a warm-up race. But again, I did that last minute because I was meant to be doing the Gribbin, and the Gribbin Mad Hatters was cancelled because of weather.
Yeah.
And I was, I was aiming for the Mad Hatter events because they are hilly, and Coniston is hilly, and I'm not a natural at hills, so I've been practicing hills. Buell does have a hill in it, but it's more flat. It's all the way around a reservoir. It's a really nice race, and I'm sure the shorter ones are. I mean, be as keen as mustard. They do some really great stuff if you just want to have a go. Their 5 and 10K races are very beginner friendly. So yeah, but that was also my only hot race. It was like 22 in the water and 24 air temp.
Wow.
Whereas Charlestown, Uto, Coniston were pretty cold.
Yeah. Coniston. So you went on to Coniston, the big one, 40, somewhere between 40 and 50K.
I was 48.
40K. Right, yeah.
47, I think, was the minimum you could do. So I didn't go too far wrong. Yeah, so I got 48. Coniston didn't go to plan, even though I won the ladies, but there were hardly any ladies. I tend to look at things how I've done against the men, and that's because there isn't depth of field in the women. And I came 6th, but I was very disappointed I couldn't stay with you, Mike, or, I don't think the top 3 was ever in my league. But no, I went to race Coniston and I ended up having to survive it because I got knee issues about 90 minutes in. So I hobbled. I hobbled a lot of Coniston. And my physio and consultant was like, "Did you ever think about stopping?" And I was like, "No, I've done all of this training. I've got to finish this. So I'm going to run, walk, hobble until I get to the end," which is what I did.
Good.
But it's an amazing race. It's brutal. Even if it looks on paper like it's flat, it's not really.
That middle run
flat.
is significant. The middle run is significant, isn't it?
And as you know, because you did it, the sort of almighty storm the day before. I mean, most of the course was underwater. So again, there were bits where I thought I'll be walking in a few places. I mean, I walked in a lot of places because it was just steep or brambles, roots, or just bog. But it's glorious. It was a beautiful day, and it's a fantastic race. It's not for the faint-hearted, the long one.
No.
It was really nice actually because when something goes wrong in a race, you have to sort of get your head back into sort of enjoy as much as you can. Don't you're just an amateur, just enjoy the day out. And it was very nice when I got to sort of Windermere and started catching the other waves where there were hundreds of people doing the shorter ones, and like everyone having a chat and all the same comments about how hard it was. It was brilliant. And at one point I was going up towards Clappersgate, and the lady I was overtaking just said, "Don't forget to look right." And you look right, and there's this view of where you've just climbed up. And I was like, "Yeah, this is why we do it. So thanks for reminding me to actually look around rather than put my head down and power walk as it was at the time."
Yeah. So how's your knee now?
So it's getting there. I arranged an MRI on the day I was driving back down because I was so annoyed. It's actually a problem with my IT band, but so my knee looks good, but it's further up the chain. But I mean, I live in a sort of permanent stage of injury. I had surgery on my hip in 2016, 2017, and I have to have a fine line between doing too much and it going again. So it's all to do with hip stability stuff. So that was my longest race to date. I mean, 3 or 4 years ago, I mean, my physio keeps telling me this. I'd have said I was never going to run a half marathon again. So the fact that I effectively did my first mountain marathon
Yeah.
in Coniston is a huge success, but I obviously pushed it a little bit too far. So I've spent the last, how many weeks is this since Coniston? 6 to 7 weeks doing rehab again. But the advantage for this year, unlike other years, is that I've never, apart from like 3 or 4 days, I've never had to stop. So I'm not doing as much running right now as I want to do, but I'm not starting from zero.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can get my runs over 75 minutes again, sort of, and build up again to sort of 2 hours, 2.5 hours by January, and we'll be all good. I've just started training with Tom Jenkinson, so he's setting programs, and he knows I'd like to do the worlds, and it's all about strengthening the chassis, as he puts it, at the moment.
Right.
So making sure, my joints and muscles and everything are strong enough. The engine is sort of there, but trying to get to 60k running rather than 40.
Yeah, cool. Well, it's not that long run at Coniston is quite punishing. The long run at Uto is punishing in a way, but it's not on the joints so much. It's not that Coniston run. It's up and down and a bit of technical terrain. So yeah, slightly different. So looking ahead to 2026, then. So maybe the world's. What have you got any? Well, in fact, guys, I have a UK race calendar for many years now that I just had to help me plan if I'm going to race or when can I organise a race. So let's go through it, Tamsyn. So 9th of May. These are the ones I've got so far in 2026. The Eliminator in Liverpool, 9th of May. 23rd of May, the St. Austell, Hokey Cokey. Buell Water on the 7th of June, new organisers, of course. 13th of June, there's two. There's a clash. Great North Swim Run and Studland. 20th of June, Swim Run Gower. 21st of June, Eliminator Abu Dhabi, back-to-back in Wales. Grafton Water, 28th of June. 18th of July, Clevedon. 1st of August, Swim Run Wales and Pembrokeshire. 23rd of August, Northern Ireland and Swim Run. 27th of August, St Mary's, Silly 60. Actually, I missed out. I believe Silly 60 have got one in July as well.
July, they've got an archipelago one in July.
Yeah, I'll have to update that because it's moved around a bit. Swimrun Jersey, 5th of September. And then the 20th, Swimrun Coniston. And 27th of September, Survivor Swimrun. So, any plans for 2026 there?
I haven't got any set plans. I'm thinking I need to work back from September. I'm likely to do some of the more local ones because they're easier to get to, and to do them almost as training weekends, because where I am, it's quite hard to do swim run practice to any real extent. Like I can go to my Tri Club's lake for an hour and jump in and out to just practice the kind of getting things in the right order, but to actually do a 2 or 3 hour swim run practice is really hard. So stuff like Buell, which will be gritty now, Grapham, I don't know if as keen as Musters will do Neen Valley, because I did that as my first long one 2 years ago. I'm tempted to go back to Charlestown for Mad Hatters. I'd like to do the Studland one, because all of these are a bit easier than coming up to you, although one day I'll come do one of your Eliminators.
Yeah.
Not sure I'll be. It'd be interesting to see how I do it in eliminator, whether I'd pace it right. And my all-out speed isn't Richard Stannard, but
It's quite swim. It's quite swim
yeah.
heavy. Yeah. So yeah, you'd have a good chance of doing okay for sure.
So I will bear in mind your eliminator ones. Yeah, Studland I'd like to have a go at. It's always around my son's birthday, but there seemed to be quite a good and competitive crowd there this year. I don't know whether that's because of the date or the race particularly. But I mean, I've still got, because I'm new to this, I've still got a lot that I haven't done. So I mean, all of the ones you've just mentioned are of interest. I just can't do them all in one year. I mean, I'd love to go down to the Scilly Isles. I was looking at that this year, and eventually I said it was just too difficult to get me and the family there on the August bank holiday weekend. I think it's mid-July. And again, I was thinking, is that a good one as practice for the Worlds? I mean, I don't know if you've got views on this, like what are good races as practice? I know Tom has said to me, don't do too many long ones. Seems a bit counterintuitive, but he says you need a lot of, especially because of the injuries, you need a lot of base training and not too much that stresses your body out beforehand. So in a way, I'm looking at things and thinking maybe I'll do a few more that sort of 20k, but not looking at those really long ones in the run up.
Yeah, I think Tom's probably right there, especially with you, managing your body. Some niggles over the years. Yeah, I think he's probably right. I would say maybe I would do a few kind of that 18k or no run is so I expect you'll be doing a few of those just to get the feeling, get that feeling. It works for different things for different people. I mean, some people have said Ireland's a good one to do, but there is a risk of injury there for sure. Like Mathieu Poulin, who was the reigning champion from last year, got injured on that race and then couldn't do the World Champs.
It's August, isn't it?
Yeah, it's August, mid-August, I think. So I'd love to do that race, but it's a balance of time as well, of course, and how close it is. So I'd be tempted to do kind of some early season ones. Maybe
that's what I was thinking.
Maybe don't race in August. Yeah.
So I want some UK ones which are just easier for me family wise, and possibly sort of one World Series, and it's choosing sort of, and that will be a longer race. All of them are between 4 and 7 hours, I guess. So it's sort of choosing that from the earliest one is the
Rügen, yeah.
The new one, which looks an amazing place. It's a shame it's not in school holidays. I think it'd be quite a nice place to take everyone. But that's May, and I was like, would it be best to do one that early? Then you can have a block of some UK training races in the middle. I mean, I'd like to do Cannes as well, but that would all be dependent on not being so broken by the World Champs. You can race afterwards. I was so impressed by Piers this year because he did the Worlds and then did Coniston and then did Cannes, and I was like, I think I'll probably be having to rest up for a month after the World Champs, but I'll take it if I get there and finish.
Yeah, leave Cannes on the background, but you've got a month after the Worlds. Yeah, you've got a fair chance. Yeah, maybe not Worlds, Coniston, Cannes, but
No.
So I think that's a good strategy. You got Rügen, a long one in May. Uto, of course, early June. Gothenburg, end of July. So those three, if you were going for a World Series.
Have you done Gothenburg?
Yeah, great.
How similar is the terrain, or is it totally different technical stuff?
It's fairly similar. There's a hell of a lot of transitions. So in terms of dusting off the rust, if you had any rust, your transitions will get really good. I was quite rusty this year on transitions, but Gothenburg is a real rust buster because there's just so many transitions. It's short runs, short swims. So I was about to say you might not get injured, but there's always a chance with difficult terrain. But I guess what I'm saying is there's not like a long run that would stress your body without a swim in between. I felt like the rock wasn't quite as slippy as the Worlds or Uto. No, well, it wasn't. The year I did it, it wasn't anyway. So yeah, it's
Yeah. So I'm sort of looking at those three at the start. Pick one, see if I can find someone to do it with me, because again, it'd be good to have practice with a partner.
yeah.
I've only done a splattering of them with a partner, and it's worked. But in a way, I'm guessing, like with an equally matched partner, it can really help when you've had down patches. Like you can, go up and down, both of you, and you get each other through. As a solo, transitions are a bit easier, I think, because it's just you. On Uto, and I was going past all the teams, I could just hear all the communication between them, and I'd just skip around the side. It's just me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's what to aim towards in a team, is that kind of natural speed, which is really hard to get, especially if you've not raced with someone before. But if you can get a swimmer who's like within 10% of your speed, Gothenburg, there's some quite short swims, as there are in Uto, and you do it untethered. That can work. That approach for sure. I'd recommend that in the world champs towards the end, where there's short swims, as long as it's not a massive difference of speed. So yeah, you've got a bit to go at, but yeah, find a teammate.
Yeah. Number one, find a teammate. Number two, actually enter some races. But yeah, barring any injuries, you'll see me in various places around the UK.
Good stuff. And do you do any long distance, like ultras or any long distance running, or do you just steer away from that now?
That's the other thing. I'd like to do a 50k ultra again, probably more as a training run, sort of tempo, than trying to get an all out time. And some of that is just to do some of the longer stuff with company. I do an awful lot of my training on my own when I can manage it. And I do have friends who do ultras here. So again, just looking not for a destination one, just for a local one. To do that, just to get that sort of in the legs. I don't come from I haven't done a marathon. I've gone straight into trails and ultras.
Good.
But,
well done. Yeah.
This year I did the Ashridge Boundary Run, which is 28k, and as hilly as you get around where I am. I mean, it's quite hard. You can't get into rhythm. It goes up and down and round and over roots and stuff. And I'll probably do that again, but I would like to do a slightly longer one as well. And then I do some short stuff as well. So
yeah,
like doing the odd 5 or 10k to see what I can do pure speed.
Yeah. Well, the Eliminator is good for that, and some people have met future race partners at the Eliminator, so it's a good shakedown. It's
solo.
It's all solo. Yeah, but you get to know each other because you're on the same lap. Potentially, you'll get to 6 laps, I'd say. Well, I've got breaking news on that, which I'll say in a minute. But you get to talk to a lot of people, so you get to know who you're racing against, and you just work out what your speed is with the other guys and girls.
Do you have to start, practically wise, do you have to start with the same kit, or if you've got time in between laps, can you change kit?
You can change kit as long as you finish each lap with what you started with. I'm happy.
Yeah. So with little paddles get bigger.
Yeah, that's what people do, and they use it. It's a really, really good training race, if you like, as well as a race in itself, because there's so much flexibility. It's not that pressure of Anyway, the breaking news. I've interest. So I've had feedback, and I've always believed that the male and female race is better together. It's been difficult to have the same time, for women and men. Even though Rianne has pushed the box, but inevitably the men are slightly faster, the top men. So I've been trying to work it out. I did do a male and female separate race, and it was great, but it didn't feel like quite as good. So I've put out a question to some friends about how I can do it. Someone suggested a short shoot option they do in Super League
like
Triathlon.
the
Super League,
yeah.
So, and when he said it, I thought, well, that's not going to work because that's different. But then I thought, actually, there is an easy way to shorten the second run for the women by about 250, 300 meters, and it would be perfect. It would basically eliminate the gender gap. So that's what's
great.
happening.
I think that's fantastic. Yeah, because I was going to say, something Clydesdale, like put weights, put weights on all the men. Your idea is much better, but yeah, short shoot.
Yeah, short shoot. So I'm really excited about that.
I think racing together, particularly when you tend to get a smaller female field, I think that'd be great. And from a tri background, I'm still very much Kona. We should have men and women. We should have men and women together. It's much more exciting. Yeah, no, I'll definitely have to do one of your eliminators.
Yeah,
at some point.
Good. And so I think it'll be exciting to see how that timing works exactly. But I think it's going to be spot on. You never know till you try it. But
I can tell you're excited by this.
Yeah, no, I am. I really am, because it's one of those ideas. I thought initially, no, that's not appropriate. That's not going to work. And then I just started thinking about the course. Actually, there's a perfect way to do this. So yeah, we'll see.
Do people? We haven't talked about kit, but do people tend to wear road shoes in the eliminator?
They do. There's one. The swim get out is technical. Like it is technical, but I find it's not that slippy. There's the bottom kind of edge is slippy, and then it's a ramp, concrete ramp, which I find okay grip wise. There is a rope down as well. After a few laps, you get the best technique, and then there's a railing fence to climb over, and that's the trickiest bit. But that hasn't got anything to do with your feet; it's just climbing over. So yeah, most people do wear road shoes for it. If you're confident in transition, the trail shoes are fine. I mean, yeah. You're cautious about saying too much about shoes because it's very individual. But on kit then, Tamsyn. What? I mean, let's just have a go at the old. I guess you've got a kind of arc pull buoy or something similar.
I have an arc, but I suppose controversially, I have an arc small because I started with the standard one, and I just felt my bum was up in the air. And I know that's probably coming from a swim background, so I don't have legs that sink particularly. I'm in swim competitions, I'm used to being a skin swimmer. I don't wear a wetsuit. And so I just felt more comfortable with the small. I can use the standard, but I'd never go any bigger than that. So yeah, I've gone through the pain of getting arc stuff. I spent most of last January getting arc stuff and doing customs returns and stuff on wetsuits. But I do love the wetsuit that I've ended up with. So I generally raced in the Uto arc. I also have the sleeveless one, the Uto in sleeveless. And I guess if I wanted to do something like Can, I might need to order something even lighter. But yeah, so hopefully Uto is okay for anything I want to do next year. I mean, I generally wore the arm sleeves, so both in Uto and Coniston, actually in Charlestown as well, because most of the water was 13 or less. So yes, I do like that. I started the first year with a Yonder wetsuit, which was very good as entry level. I don't think they're running them now. I don't think they're making them.
No.
But it was particularly good for somebody with swimmer's shoulders, because I find wetsuits really hard to fit, because to get them to fit my shoulders, they're often too big everywhere. else. In a full like triathlon wetsuit, I wear an Orca men's. It fits me better than
Okay.
than the women's. And actually, in the kangaroo top, I've got a men's kangaroo top because I've got broad shoulders.
Hmm.
So I've got a whole load of arc kit,
Yeah.
basically, and paddles, small ones.
Okay.
I'm building myself up to use medium ones, but I still find that over about 1,000 meters, my turnover just gets slower with the big paddles, and so I haven't raced in them yet. So initially they'd be faster, and then my shoulders would give out, and I'd be slower. So I stick to the small one.
Okay. Do you think you're starting with the big ones with a too high a turnover?
Maybe. I mean, I'm probably like some of the other more swimmers you've had on here. I probably do have more of a pool female turnover. I don't look like some of the men who are just really loping
Yeah.
40 strokes per minute. Um, so yeah, I do keep that, and I do find training with the medium ones. It is a different stroke, really. It's amazing how much like 2 centimeters makes a difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I would like to try. So I've only tried the arc ones. I started originally. I think there's some just Speedo ones I had lying around the house, but
Mhm.
I wouldn't mind trying like the Evolvent ones, which people talk about, just to
Mhm.
see if the slightly different shape is
Yeah.
any better. Um, and actually, Envol have just bringing out a prototype, aren't they, as well? So I mean, it's definitely one of those things where I'm going to end up like trainers with
Yeah.
multiple pairs around the house. It's my birthday soon. I've been dropping hints.
Okay.
I'd like to try this out. So yeah, because I'm sure there's still speed. I mean, there's definitely still speed I can get in the swim. I have bad days just like everybody
Mhm.
else. And so if I could get stronger, I would be faster through the race. But so far, I use the little one.
Yeah. Okay. The small arc,
Yeah,
plastic or carbon?
I've got carbon for racing. I've
Mhm.
got plastic for in the pool. I
Cool.
think there is a difference. I think there is a difference. I've never speed tested any of these things. Just on feel,
Yeah.
really. But I sort of built it up. The first ever swim run I did, where I was towing my friend, I did the first, which was the Oxford Lock to Lock. Actually, we didn't mention that. I think that
I don't
will.
think it's happening
Uh,
next year.
no, because I did that because it's quite local. It's quite swim heavy because it has 3 long swims and 2 long runs. It's sort
Mm.
of, there's a bit that is really in essence 2.5K swim, because it's like a K, you jump out round a lock and then you do another K and a half or something. It's part of the 10K swim course, which I've
Right.
done the 10K.
Okay.
And so I started that. I did the first swim without paddles at all, and then used the paddles afterwards. So there are things, if you're a beginner, like I didn't go straight in and say I can do 4K in
Mm.
paddles
Yeah.
on my shoulder.
Yeah.
I built up, and now I do a lot of paddles, and it feels like, you use all the toys at the pool, but it's legitimate because that's how you race.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Um,
I think
uh,
there's probably
Go ahead.
work to do. I mean, the pole boy is relatively simple in terms of effectiveness, and the shape of the pole boy is something that's developed over the years. The size, obviously, and then there's not much else, I guess, with the pole boy apart from individual management of it. The good thing about having a smaller one for yourself is it's
Yeah,
easier to manage. With the paddles, I think there's definitely more technicality of developments to come for sure, because
yeah,
even the carbon ones that are out now, they're very young still, young kind
yeah.
of, and haven't been thoroughly kind of scientifically tested, I guess. So
No,
yeah, I think
I
this.
mean, if you look at bikes or tri-suits, all that stuff that's been around for a lot longer, this is still quite a new sport, so I'm sure there'll be lots of tech
Yeah.
changes to come. And then you see, on shoes, my favourite shoes are probably get this the wrong way around. They are the old style Adidas Terrex Steed Ultras, which Adidas have stopped doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to also shout out to the swimrun community for ideas of what would be really, really similar to those shoes, because I don't get on with the new ones, which are more rocker style, and
Yeah,
they're
I
like
don't.
Hokas. I get cramp instantly, so I can't. Must be the shape of my feet. I can't wear them,
Mm,
so I do need to find a new favourite
mm,
race shoe. I have a couple of pairs of sort of mud Talon Innovates for trail running, because around where I am, it's more British cross country in the mud than
yeah.
mountain nice trails. And I mean, I could race in them. I've tried swimming and running in them, but they hold a bit more water and are a bit heavier.
Mm. And they're not as, if they're the ones I used to have, they're not as cushioned, are they, on the harder
No,
surfaces? No.
so I love the Adidas, and I need to find a
Yeah.
replacement for them.
Yeah, I agree. I could race in the new ones, but I prefer the old ones, like yourself, the original ones. I think
Yeah.
Max and Hugo wore them in 2021, maybe, and I remember seeing them on their feet. Oh, what are they? But yeah, they've been great. Other alternatives. I mean, people have talked. You don't like Hoka, so maybe I won't say Hoka Tecton.
No.
I know some people like them. A couple of people were the Ultra Olympus.
Yeah. That
Ah,
was, I think that was on Sabina's. I was going to say, I've never heard of them, so I'm going to look them up. And there was another one I've noticed on some chat or swimrun
Solomon, something or other. Solomon one. They're quite narrow generally. Solomon. VJs, of course. I mean, VJs are the best grip. They're a Finnish company. They are quite big to. Yeah, if I bought another pair, I normally go in Adidas 9.5, maybe 10. It's perfect. In these ones, I'd probably go 8.5 in the VJ because I've got a size 9 because I heard they were quite big. But yeah, they're good. Yeah, I mean, there's loads, and it's more going towards carbon as well with a lot of racers now, especially at the front of the pack.
Yeah.
You know, people are just going for it.
Carbon yet.
No.
I have some non-carbon super shoes for the road, but they're Brooks Hyperion range, which I love.
Okay.
But yeah, injuries and carbon, not sure it's worth it for me.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Cool. Well, Tamsyn, we've covered lots of stuff there, and a good chat on kit there, which we could go on forever, I think. Especially shoes.
No doubt.
Cool. Well, good luck with whatever you decide on early season. And partner, I will put a shout out. Well, we have already done that, but I might put it in an email as well, because it'd be great to have a British female as well. Yeah, it'd be cool. Rianne's doing an Ironman. Rianne would have been perfect.
No,
I think
Rianne needs to change her plans.
I know. But she's doing Ironman Italy, I think. But yeah, there'll be someone else out there for sure.
I hope so. Thank you.
No worries. Thanks for coming on.